You're right, how does it have presence in consumers? Does that sell it if you're just.
Right, where you heard, where they heard the internal audio.
Gotta get curious.
And he never got on the show, he was still sitting there.
I mean, why did he lose? What, how did it? What's that?
Maybe he takes him off when he's speaking, huh? I mean, I don't know, I have no idea.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I mean, I know, people that, traumatic, get hit in a crosswalk or something like that, you actually get blown out of your shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens. I mean, I've seen that, but.
Yeah.
I want to get over them.
Well,
Could be
when
almost
Reagan got shot, or I don't know, did they hit Reagan? Or-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
They
it
didn't know
was,
it was bad.
but it was like in the middle of the street, it wasn't,
Yeah,
he was traveling, right.
He was down in DC, I think.
I just saw it.
Yeah, it was a 22. Brady, you somehow heard Brady.
Of course, this dude has three names too, so I always gotta have three names. Always. Yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald, three names.
You don't have a middle name?
Hmm?
You don't have a middle name?
Well, but I mean, everyone's got a middle name, but do they go by the
They
name?
go by it. I think they just be exactly clear as you can go by. Yeah.
So like Lee Harvey was known as Lee Harvey.
Shots of praise. It's not late.
So,
Switch sale. It's a rough name.
we're good now.
Yeah, I know, it's just.
Three of them.
Or the corners would be a positive, right? They're set or not. Did you see the graphic? It wasn't like, clearly if the guy would be. Like, it didn't even have to be that. His head was hurt.
So I think he was, think about it, if you're aiming, it's easier to hit the side of a head.
Yeah, it was like,
Face on.
they said.
So I think he was aiming at the side and then he just.
The last second he looked at that board.
Yeah.
Insane.
Because I think, I don't know, I assume he was aiming while he was like looking that way, the side.
Right.
I think the shooter kind of rushed because of that.
This is a cops up there.
Yeah, just. And he's just like.
It's crazy, of course. Yeah, the guy that got killed after that.
Where was he?
Right behind Trump.
Well, it was in law, yeah, well, he was over a shot was behind it.
Immediately behind him or like
I think
to the
it's-
side?
I think that's like the.
Yes, so right.
I mean, it
shielded his face.
could have been the bullet that went through his ear.
Wasn't there somebody else who critical
Oh,
condition?
right.
There was a couple people, but I don't
There's
know.
one there like 5 shots.
Is that what it was? 5?
Could hear like.
They should have ripped off.
Oh my God, there's so much news on every subject. In AR-15, you have to press the trigger as opposed to, you can't just hold it down, you gotta like do that 5 times.
Yeah, but it's fast. Look at that with any stuff. And that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Letters.
You all agree with this?
Right away.
Good to see you down here.
I'm really sorry.
You don't need to be sorry, we figured it out, that's the whole point of the exercise. The problem solved, to the bottom.
I'm great, and now, and I have my list.
What's,
You'll be thrilled.
what's massive, like something technical going on?
There you go.
Oh.
And as long as there's authority to do it.
Looks like, it looks like, but,
He was on.
well, I know, he was on it, but like what? I assume he's fixing something because he was there.
Yeah, what was
Yeah.
You were what?
We looked at something else.
I
was using my.
You have to.
You were doing stuff I don't understand.
He's researched by the bug, sign a piece of paper, and that's what I did. Now, because it's all centralized to the Secretary of State's office, I mean, that's been an attorney having this year, I was just never bothering to do it. When it was more local here in Columbus, not just centralized. It's probably a little more tedious. Well,
I just had to renew mine.
you know, also if you would have.
Waiting on Adam or,
Yeah, he's better trying to get an agenda for Rob's.
An attorney's exam for an attorney.
A lot simpler.
I don't remember the fire, so I don't want to.
This is the.
That's a, yeah, enumeration for that.
Yes.
Who cares what they're, because okay, Heather's getting, so for me, it's really, I got it, it's size my information, but it's fire.
That's-
Sometimes like, somebody's race. Active, they're outstanding, so thank you so much. Should have waited. You're gonna look at our brief in the learning stage.
That's okay.
that's an understatement.
Exactly.
We all know our roles.
Okay. Is that good? Yeah.
That's what I never get several complaint about not.
I'm ready. Thank you.
Tony's ready. Ready? Ready. Waiting for Adam to come back?
No, he's got.
Not as important as Tony, clearly. Okay. Start the July monthly graphics commission meeting. Our first case, well, before our first case, do we have any preliminary?
No,
Items.
tonight.
Wonderful.
Ready to go.
Before we call our first case, we'll ask our esteemed city attorney to swear all the folks in that wanted to.
Most exciting part of my day.
Yes,
If anybody anticipates testifying, please just raise your right hand and repeat after me, or say I do at the end. Do you swear or affirm that all the testimony you'll give today will be true to the best of your belief and of knowledge, and so say it?
great. So we can now call our first case, GC 23-051 743 Bethel Road, which looks familiar.
743 Bethel Road is located on the south side of Bethel Road, approximately 920 feet east of Jason Way Avenue. So in ZPD and located in Northwest Civic Association. The 10.27 acre site is currently developed with a multi-tenant commercial retail plaza and associated parking. Ground uses include multi-unit residential and eating and drinking establishments to the east, commercial retail and eating and drinking establishments to the north and west, light manufacturing to the west, and medical office building to the south. The applicant proposes to replace an existing wall sign and requesting variance to increase the maximum level size of the wall sign that's not oriented towards to a street abutting the lot from 38.19 square feet to 72.54 square feet. The northwest plan states new signage will be a logical and complementary component of the overall design of a storefront. The division of traffic management has no comments. As of this report, staff had not received the recommendation from the area commission, but I received it today. It's in front of you. They recommend disapproval with a vote of 5-1. Staff recommends disapproval of the requested variance as it nearly doubles the amount of allowable signage for that elevation. Staff could be supportive of a graphic of this size if it were directed towards a public street with a higher speed limit rather than towards a parking lot and private drive. And it was brought to staff's attention that this proposed sign was installed, but it has since been taken down.
Okay, can you please state your name for the record?
Rebecca Green. I am working with Sign Stop.
And you've been sworn in?
I have.
I think we've heard this case a bunch of times, so
Right.
if you could, I would appreciate if you'd focus on the difference between this application and the previous ones and the statement that was just said about putting the sign up. I'm curious about that.
Great. So with that in mind, we can flip through this slide, as you can see. And that slide, that was the prior use. And that's what it looks like when there is no sign on it. And it is just and if we could go down again, it's just those two left panels. Sorry. Could go this way. Oh, well, it's just those two left panels. And here you can see them taking this sign down. It was installed, I don't actually know what date it was installed, but it was installed it was in existence last week on this unit. And then this is dated yesterday and you can see them taking it down. So it has been removed. It is a 29.84 square foot sign. It is much smaller than the signs that we have proposed to date, and you can see those, I think above this slide, above the other way. More yet. Those are the prior signs that we proposed, I think 68, 70, and a 50-ish kind of sign. And so this one is substantially smaller than the ones that we proposed in the past. This one's at 29.84. What we're asking for is just an identifier for this new business. This owner owns the shop next to it, which is called Cocoa Hot Pot, and there was the permit for it was somewhere in the presentation the staff gave. It has, because there's a partial demand, there you can see it there, and there's the existing sign. That's a 42 square foot sign there. And because this particular tenant unit is more than 100 feet from the property line, gets the mass factor of 2. Whereas the new business, this owner is put a lot of money into and has built out, is less than that, so it gets a mass factor of 1. The Northwest Civic Association expressed that it would be okay with a total of 50 square feet.
I'm
for
sorry,
both.
it would be okay.
With a total of 50 square feet for both storefronts. So this being 42, and there's 42.3, I think, square feet, that would leave us with 7-ish square feet for our new build out business. The owners are already a lot of money into this and wants to have a sign that's appropriate, even though there is the dividing wall between these two businesses has been removed in part. They are 2 separate businesses, one being this hot pot experience and the other one just being more of a traditional Asian type food. If you go to my presentation again, just the last 2 slides. Just the last 2, yeah. And that's them taking it down. So you can see that if we had a dividing wall here, things would be different. On the left, you can see that since it's considered 1 unit, that is, there's a walkthrough. Since it's considered 1 unit, we're only allowed for both sides 38 square feet. If in fact these were, if that dividing wall was up and truly dividing these 2 spaces, then the Cocoa Hot Pot space would be allowed 54 square feet and we would be allowed 27, which would total 81 total square feet for both of those spaces. But since we have this walkthrough between the 2 units, we're only allowed 38. So if you could go to the next one. So our request is to keep the current sign, the hot pot sign at 42.7. And to install a new sign for this new business, this owner has built out at 29.84 for a total of 72.54 square feet for both units. And that's the variance is obviously 35.35 square feet. It's just the mass factors are different for the 2 spaces. And when you combine them as 1 space, the mass factor is 1. And it's our argument that a 7 square foot sign is not sufficient for a new business on the space.
Would you like to come up and testify?
If you can scroll up just 1 slide.
Can you please state your name for the record and confirm you've been sworn in, please?
Monica Tuttle. I am the zoning chair representing Northwest Civic. I have been sworn in. So we have tried to work with this applicant over the course of the past, I think, close to 6 months. we have been willing to allow a variance. As you can see, if they're considered one tenant, it's 38. We've said, let's go up to 50. We're happy to engage in a dialogue. At our last meeting, the trustees were shocked to find out, well, some of us have driven by and noticed it, but it was erected. The meeting prior to that, there had been window graphics in the windows. So throughout the course of this, the applicant has really done as much as they could to not work with the Civic Association. Kind of our fallback position has been this 50 square feet. At the very minimum, if you look, if these were two separate tenants, which they are not, the largest that the sign on this second space would be permitted to be is 27. So even if we go with the applicant's, this is two separate businesses argument, they are still asking for more than should be permitted. And the applicant really hasn't shown any good faith. I don't know if you have my photo up on there.
Is it front road?
Their current sign is not well maintained. Some of the lights are burnt out. So we just don't feel that they are being a good neighbor and that they're not working with us to do what's in the community's best interest. Thank you. I'm happy to entertain any questions.
Do you agree with that statement, Jamie? Like what about 27, if they were two separate?
I would defer to Steve, his case.
Yep, that's what the calculated allowable would be.
The what? I'm sorry, Steve.
The calculated allowable square footage if it was a single tenant.
So
No,
they
it-
have 27 square foot.
Well,
Yes, but the variance that's being requested is the total square footage of all signs for a single elevation.
If they were separate, they got it, so.
Only 27.
It's all right.
So I have a question. So although they are the same tenant, are they actually different businesses?
They are different businesses. One is this hot pot experience, which is it's a table with a sort of a cooking surface on top. Okay, great. And the other is not. It is not that experience. It is more of your dim sum, Szechuan, typical kind of food
Is
like
there a
that.
wall between those two?
There is the tenant has removed a walkthrough.
So so then it's the same, it's just a different, you can order something, okay, it's the same business.
But they specifically built it out so it would be a different dining experience.
They're separate,
But I feel
but they
like-
share a kitchen.
Well, I
Correct.
feel like if you, because there was a wall there, because I've eaten there, because I lived in the Northwest, so I've eaten there, and there was a wall there, it was two different businesses. So they opened up the wall, and it's no longer two different businesses.
That's the Northwest story.
Okay, that was my question.
So it's all the same owner,
And
two separate defined experiences.
My understanding, it's two separate.
Do they have two separate vendor licenses?
I do not know that answer. I do not know that they have a shared kitchen, so I don't know.
So, we'd have to.
Yeah, that's how you would define it, as if there's two separate vendor licenses.
Who ordered the 29 square foot sign?
Who ordered it?
Yeah.
I assume the owner ordered it. I don't know.
And said it was okay to put it out.
Evidently,
Is the
there
owner
was a
here today?
miscommunication. I'm so sorry.
Is the owner here today?
He is not.
Sorry,
That's right.
but
I can't remember your question, but I assume it's like, how did it happen? How did that get up there? I really, my understanding is just a miscommunication. I think Monica would tell you, I was very surprised to find out it was up.
So your colleague, did your colleague who was here previously talk to the owner? Do you know?
I don't know.
So you haven't had any conversation with the owner?
I personally have not had any conversation about how the sign got up. No, but I did ask for it to be taken down, and that is what has happened.
Can I ask another question? So what you said, they haven't been working with you and it's in the.
I'm sorry, Lolita, can you turn your mic on, please, or pull it closer?
it's on Google.
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry there. Yes. So you said that, you've been working with them, they haven't, worked with you to come up with the best interest of the community. What is the best interest of the community?
That was too close.
What's that?
Um,
Oh, There we go. Good job.
I don't know if you have the packet. So this is our third time before Graphics Commission. I don't know if you have the packet from the last
have
two
it.
times. We're trying to not have it be a sign dominated area. We're a community. We have a lot of smaller businesses. We don't want it to be a big flashy area. Obviously the code was written before illuminated signs were a really big thing. There isn't a delineation between illuminated and non-illuminated. I think we would be more amenable to a larger sign, and we've told the applicant this if it were not illuminated. But in this case, if you compare it to the other businesses, there's a Chipotle, which has more square footage than the entire Cocoa Hot Pot, and they have a smaller sign. There is a Five Guys. Both of these face directly towards Bethel, which is a wider road with a higher speed limit. So we understand the need for those to be a little bit larger to grab attention. In this case, it faces directly into a residential area.
Okay, there's some apartments over there.
Yeah.
What is the best, like, so what I want you to tell me, what is the best interest? So because right now it's empty, like there's nothing there. So what would be besides taking out illumination? So tell me exactly what's in the best interest of
It's not,
It's 50 square feet total between the
It
both.
doesn't have a sign.
oh,
Right.
It has a sign. It has a Cocoa
Well, that
Hot
second
Pot.
one,
and it also got one on the side of the building too.
they took it down, so now it's empty. Well, I saw.
No,
it
no.
was empty.
There is still a sign there.
The Cocoa Hot Pot is there.
It's
but the
still
Cocoa
there.
Cuisine is
Talk
not.
about the Cocoa Cuisine.
That's
Right.
gone.
Cause that's empty.
Correct,
Is
but
there
that
a
is
picture with it?
Yes, it is down.
Can I see that picture?
It's gone, yeah.
There's also a sign on the side of the building too.
correct. So they already have two 43 square foot signs
Mhm.
identifying this location.
Okay.
They're in the civics. We don't understand a justification for a variance. We haven't identified any hardship. They're clearly successful enough with their existing sign that they're able to expand into the adjacent space. So it doesn't seem to warrant. But if you look at, that's kind of a misleading picture because you can't see the Cocoa Hot Pot is adjacent and then there's one at a 90-degree angle as well. There is, I don't believe in this presentation, there is another one.
South side.
But
Yeah,
the business is already identified. There, if anything, I mean, my personal opinion doesn't really matter, but if anything, I think that two adjacent signs with similar but distinct names is more confusing rather than clarifying, but it isn't about the content of the sign, that they're entitled to have whatever signage they wish to have. We certainly feel that 50 square feet is large enough for them to identify those two units. That entire space, that's larger than the Five Guys. It's larger than the Chipotle. I'm trying to think what the other one, Massage Envy. Those are all smaller than the 50 square feet. And so we feel that 50 square feet, which would already be granting it a variance and allowing more than they are otherwise allowed, would allow them to identify themselves in a way that they could attract the customers that they need to do so without having that entire side of the building dominated by graphics. And part of our concern is sort of that, well, they got to do it, now we would like to do it as well, which we've seen kind of trickle down in the Northwest area.
In order to accommodate that, we would need to, I mean, the owner believes they would need to remove the existing Cocoa Hot Pot sign so that they could have a sign for the hot pot side and a sign for the non-hot pot side. And, you know, they're not sure why they're going to be required to remove that existing sign. And
Because
why
they're
they've got to
required
remove that existing sign in order to accommodate this 50-foot request.
Because that's what the code says.
Just as a summary, okay, so the original sign that was put up and then it's taken down, that was the 72.54 square foot sign?
No, that was the 29.84 square foot sign.
The same one that you're requesting today.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I was listening to
Yeah, I think they.
And I think that city staff's report, I apologize, Mr. Smedley, I think it's a little bit misleading in that it says replacing an existing sign because it's really adding an additional sign. The
It
42
is good, yeah.
7
There was a
8,
tenant previously in there that had a sign.
Correct.
So we,
but the Cocoa Hot Pot is remaining. They added that Cocoa Cuisine and the Cocoa
they meant
Cuisine,
replacing another sign that was a different tenant.
and the
I
Cocoa
get it.
Cuisine has been removed. And so they're asking to put the Cocoa Cuisine
Back up. That's
up. But it was in.
You're not allowed anything, right? Is that?
I'm allowed a,
Sorry, this elevation here, both Cocoa Hot Pot, Cocoa Cuisine can be 50 square feet total.
Yeah.
No,
no,
if
that's
you-
not correct.
Do that?
That is
No.
not correct.
34.
Because they've taken the wall down,
Sorry.
now we're only allowed 38 square feet.
Everyone stop. Okay.
Sorry, but you have negotiated 50 square feet between us two. Is that correct?
I mean, we're willing to support it. It's
Yes.
obviously up to the graphics commission to make a
Yeah, Code says
determination.
less. Northwest is.
Right,
saying-
the code says 38.
Right, so even though I had once a legal sign at 42.7, now I'm only allowed
You
38.19.
mean you had a leak? I don't.
I mean, because the existing hot pot sign, right, is 42.7 square feet. But because we took down that little bit of wall, I'm really only allowed 38.1.
So what?
I mean, I think that's misleading to say because I took down a little bit of wall. You're also arguing that it's two separate businesses, but you don't have anyone here to testify that it's under one vendor license. It's actually two separate businesses with two different P&Ls with, there's nobody here to testify, present that evidence. So I don't know how you could say that. I think that's misleading. How long, this picture where you show, that you took of the sign, not really looking like it's copacetic, I mean, is that been like that? How long has it been like that? To your recollection?
Longer than this application has been pending?
How big is this? sign?
Sorry, are you asking is the 29.84 sign?
I was asking the
I'm saying-
picture here.
I haven't seen that. I apologize. I haven't seen.
It just shows that like one is lit up brighter than the other one. I was just curious how long that had been.
It's been a while, because it's been back over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can like,
No, it's fine. I saw it. Thank you.
So technically, this sign's out of code, the hot pot sign. by itself.
Yes, and I've brought that to the applicant's attention through their agent on numerous occasions.
I would.
Well, obviously, we want to continue to try to work with the Northwest Civic Association as much as we can. I mean, if we'd be happy to continue to try to come up with a solution here.
I think, if I may,
sure.
we've been pretty clear about what we would be willing to support in granting a variance, and I apologize, but we are a body of volunteers who have spent an inordinate amount of time. I've been working very hard to get my fellow trustees to agree to any variance at all. And I think it's rather insincere to believe that somehow magically, if we go back to a negotiating table, something is going to be different. I personally believe that after the last, they put up the windows, Mr. Smedley can confirm, I showed him photos, the windows were covered with graphics at one point, then the applicant had to take it down. Then this illuminated sign was put up without permission and taken down. I feel pretty confident that I am not going to be able to go back to my trustees and ask. I'm surprised that they're willing, that they're still on board with 50 square feet, honestly. I think at this point, the trustees would simply say, it's in your hands. Please make a decision.
Obviously, we want to be able to put up some sign for our new business. And currently, we're not able to do so without removing the existing sign.
You can still put up a sign that's within code.
I mean, they're out
Oh,
of.
I cannot. My current sign is 42 square feet and I'm allowed 38.
I think that they're not willing to meet them where they're at, if we can. They're open
Well,
most of them.
we've tabled this twice. Does anyone here that would like to make a motion to table it again? Obviously you can. I wouldn't be willing to make a motion to table it if I could. Obviously, if we vote this down, you can obviously apply for a new one, but I mean, to me at least, it means a lot more when the owner comes here to testify and can explain and offer evidence that you're not able to provide because you're, a representative. So it's difficult to even ascertain all the facts when you're not able to present them because you didn't bring him, property owner, here to testify. And to me, if he cared enough about the sign, he'd be here. So
We would still ask that it be tabled.
I'm sorry.
And I'm not willing to,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I'm still asking that it be tabled.
I'm not willing to,
would anyone here make a motion for this application to be tabled?
I mean,
I'll make a motion, to table this application.
Is there anyone that will second it? So I don't think we can even vote on that, so. Do you want to, we still have to vote to adopt a finding of fact, right?
If you're gonna make, if you're gonna make a decision whether to approve or deny.
Well, I think we have to if we're not going to table it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so can I have a motion to adopt finding of fact based on,
I'll make a motion to adopt the finding of facts, based on the applicant staff.
yes.
I'll second.
Okay, we can vote on adopting finding of the fact.
Mr. Cavaliers?
Gosh, I like the fact that something goes there, that makes sense.
Simple question.
You're voting right now on just the final facts.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Based on the motion made. by
correct.
Okay.
Member Brumbaugh.
Yes.
Mr. Hoy?
Yes.
Ms. Augustine?
yes.
Mr. Rumbaugh?
Yes.
Chair Greenman?
Yes, and now,
Jim?
we have a vote on approving the applications based on the finding of fact.
Right, there could be either a motion to approve the variance or a motion to disapprove the variance, and then once there's a motion, the second, there could be discussion.
Okay,
I would like to make a motion to disapprove the variance.
I'll second.
okay, we can go ahead and vote,
May
It
I?
could Be discussed,
or you can say something on the record.
not additional testimony, just.
Yeah, yeah.
discussion from the
Yeah, yeah.
commission.
That's all I was gonna, I apologize.
You wanna say
I'm not
something?
attorney. I do, I just,
Yeah, go ahead.
I like the fact that there could be something there. I think it makes sense, aesthetically, just from my own perspective. I don't like the fact that somebody ordered a sign and installed it after we've been dealing with this for half the year. And then I think the chairman brings up a good point about this was important, they'd show up.
And it seems like a due diligence thing would be right. If you're gonna do this, buy this building, tear down a wall, you do the due diligence to understand what you can and can't do with the facade of the building.
Well, they're a town, I don't think they have a building.
Or sorry, well, they rent, whatever, right?
Yeah. But the
Because I feel like it's been enough discussion, and if they're still not following, or trying to work with people or with us, even with the city.
we can go ahead and vote.
Am I allowed to offer anything?
There's already been a motion and a second
Yes.
discussion, so all the testimony portion is finished.
This is a motion of disapproval.
Yeah, this is gonna be confusing, yeah.
No, this is a motion of disapproval.
So a yes vote really means no, we're not approving the application.
I'm reading through the code right now. If you could just bear with me for a second.
I would thank you.
I always thought in Robert's rules you had to vote in the positive. so-
Yeah, that's what I
That's
agree
what I'm
with
saying.
that.
A yes
Right.
means no.
Yes.
Yes, it's
That you are.
God, that's so bad.
Would you make the motion?
We've already made a motion to disapprove the
You can
application.
withdraw the motion, but if you could just give me a second to read through, I'm reading through the variance section to make sure I give you the correct language.
But they can still have a sign, just small.
No, because
Another application.
They're out
If you're gonna continue the discussion, just make sure Tony gets on the record.
Like they're,
One person at a time, please.
like they're out of code right now.
Yeah.
With the single hot bus.
here.
Yeah, like it has to be in the affirmative, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. It says under the variance section, any request for a variance shall be heard and decided by the governance commission. Shall have the power upon application to grant a variance. No variance shall be granted unless the commission finds that a hardship exists. So I would say the motion should probably be to approve the variance, and then you can say yes or no. So you can just withdraw. There can be a motion to withdraw the previous motion and start again, but there's a lot of the other.
That's why adopting the finding of fact is bizarre.
Well, you still need to have a finding of fact because you need to have some basis of facts that you're going
Sure.
to use to make the decision whether to grant the variance or not. So, based on everything that's been said here, you're adopting all of that, and then you get to decide, so all that's being admitted or accepted, and then you get to decide kind of what weight to assign.
Okay, so can we just vote on approval of the variance in the application based on the finding of fact?
That's correct.
There you go.
You can withdraw.
Some of the other boards and commissions that have language that talks about disapprove, approve, or modify. The language here under the variance just says shall not grant it unless there's a showing of hardship.
So you're saying that we need to do a motion to approve, but then we say yes or no, we want to approve it.
That's
That
correct.
sounds easy. Okay,
And then do we have to
so then I
withdraw?
need to withdraw the motion? I would like to
No.
withdraw my motion.
No,
Hold on.
I don't think so. I think the finding of fact adopted that there was no hardship based on, we did not say that in the finding of fact was approved.
Yeah, it's just the language in the statute is very clunky.
Hence the changes.
Yeah, I mean, the way that this code is written, the kind of basis for granting the variance would be if there was a showing of a hardship.
Mhm.
So in this particular instance, that should be the basis of the determination, based on all the evidence that you've heard and
Mhm.
received, so. And I do agree with you about the affirmative. So I'd withdraw the original motion. I apologize for the misdirection, just.
Okay, can I have a motion to disapprove the application or to?
Withdraw.
the original motion.
I did already.
I'm saying about, yeah, she withdrew it. I'm saying about but you still want to vote no, not yes.
It's a motion to approve.
Right, motion to approve, and then you say,
No.
if you're in favor, you say yes to approve or no,
Okay,
not to approve.
okay. So someone please make a motion to approve based on all the evidence presented and whether a hardship was determined based on the facts presented.
Just simply what motion.
Make
to
a motion
approve.
to
Motion to approve. Okay. Someone please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay, we can vote now based on all of that.
And just for clarity, you're voting whether to approve the variance.
Correct.
Mr. Moore,
No.
Ms. Augustine,
No.
Mr. Rumbaugh,
No.
Mr. Cavalera,
No.
Chair Gruberman.
No. And thank you
Thank you.
for your time. Jeez.
We're gonna have to get around a little.
Next case, GC 24015, 5897 Max Crossing Road. Please come forward.
Next cross.
That would like to. Whose case? Mr. Smedley, get it?
GC 24-015 for 5897 Max Crossing Road. It's located on the northeast corner of Happy Road and Avery Road. It's known as LAR1 Limited Apartment Residential Districts, and it's located in the Hated Run Civic Association. The 2.72 acre parcel is being developed with a multi-unit residential apartment building, surrounding to include undeveloped parcels to the north, south, and west, and a multi-unit apartment complex to the east. The applicant proposes to install illuminated projecting signs requesting variances to allow a graphic which is not specifically prohibited by the graphics code, and to increase the graphic area and height of a sign with a setback more than 15 feet from 64 square feet and a height of 12 feet to 95.66 square feet with a height of 25.5 feet. Some site history, C 22-068 was approved December 22 to rezone the property from CPD to the apartment residential. and CB 22-092 was approved in December 22 to grant development standard variances. Columbus citywide planning policies recommends that new signage be a logical and complementary component of the overall frontage of a building. Staff that the proposed sign is consistent with planning design guidelines, therefore planning is supportive of the proposal. Division of Traffic Management has no comments. And the Hayden Run Civic Association recommends approval with a vote of 4-0-1. On the condition that the signage conforms to the sign, size, colors, materials, placement, and lighting as represented by the Morrison Sign Company, architectural plans included with this application. Staff recommends approval of the requested variance because the proposed projecting sign will be used to replace a previously approved and installed ground sign, which the city of Dublin is asking the property owner to remove because it is located in the right of way for a future roundabout project.
Got it. You're requesting a condition. Excellent. Are you requesting a condition as part of this?
Staff is not requesting a condition. That was just a condition that was.
I understand.
By the
Got it.
area commission.
Okay. Whoever is going to testify, please state your name for the record before you speak and confirm for Tony that you've been sworn in.
I'm Sean White with Morrison Sign Company, and I have been sworn in.
I'm sorry, I didn't, Sean White.
Sean White, yeah.
Anyone else speaking? As of now, no. Fire away.
Well, basically, we're just requesting this variance because, like you had mentioned, there's a roundabout going in place that would not be able to have the ground sign that's there now. So we are just wanting something aesthetically pleasing on the side of the building to show that it is gauge crossing and for, easy access for any first responders that may need to, travel there in case of any emergencies.
Are you agreeable to the condition the Hayden Run Civic Association recommended in connection with their approval? It's that the signage conforms to the size, color, materials, placement, and lighting as represented by your plans and drawing that you submitted?
Yes, and we asked also for the sign to be a little larger. I believe was the case that they suggested.
No,
But- I'm sorry.
no, I mean,
Please state your.
sorry, Joe Thomas, Metro Development.
Okay.
Yeah,
You've been sworn in.
LLC, yes, I've been sworn
Okay.
in. Yes, to answer the question in the plain, simple tense.
Yes, you'll accept the condition?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Sorry, Sean.
No, you're good. Misunderstood.
Question. Will the ground sign be removed? Will be relocated or just there will be no ground sign at this location?
Removed. Correct. The,
Installed, is going to be reinstalled?
no, it'll be completely removed. The current ground sign that's there is in the future right of way of the Tuttle and Avery Road roundabout. So in essence, that ground sign will be in the way of the new construction.
Got it.
So in order to accommodate a sign on this development, because the new right of way goes almost up to the building and there's a channel easement as well as part of this. So City of Dublin's construction will almost go to the edge of this building. That gives us availability for a building mounting sign at such a height that there will not be any disruption.
No,
Equipment.
I understand that. I just was trying to get.
Absolutely.
That would be evidence of
Back in.
Thank you.
Chair
Is that-
Foreman, you're going to add that condition, the area commission's condition as well as this application, then we would condition that these signs be stamped.
Do we can stamp them right now?
I can run down and print it off after my kids
Are they not in, aren't these?
You should have a copy. of
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are fine.
Well, that would show color. Yeah. Okay.
That's
I'll
color.
color one there.
Yeah. You guys have a version in color with you?
Yes,
For the record,
I got 10 copies. of it.
yeah, zoning typically requires a lot more copies.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Great. Does anyone have any other?
You need more?
Nope, just one. Okay.
One is good for us.
True hardship.
Yes. Anyone else have any questions? Can I have a motion to approve finding of the fact?
Make a. Make a motion to adopt the finding of facts as stated by the applicant. So,
Second.
Okay, we can vote on finding of fact.
Ms. Augustine?
Yes.
Mr. Rumbaugh?
yes.
Mr. Cavaliers?
Yes.
Mr. Floyd?
Mr. Hoy?
Yes.
Yes, we can, have a motion to approve the application based on,
Second.
okay, we can vote.
Mr. Rumbaugh?
Yes.
Mr. Cavaliers?
Yes.
Mr. Floyd?
Yes.
Ms. Augustine?
Yes.
Mr. Coopman?
Yes, your application is approved.
Thank you very much.
To be on the together.
Oh, God.
I couldn't see myself.
So screw it up and throw it here somewhere. Okay, next case is GC 24-018 1105 Schrock Road. Please come forward. Mr. Smedley, you're on a roll here.
Oh, yeah.
One person working.
Okay, here.
Oh, shot across with that.
Jumper graphic. 1105 Chalk Road is located on the east side of Doubletree Avenue. And it's zoned in M1 or M manufacturing. Located in Northwest Community Council.
Your mic.
That's all. I think it's believers or. There we go. Yeah. The 11-acre parcel is developed with an 8-story office building. Surrounding uses are primarily office buildings to the north, west, and south, with Interstate 71 directly to the east and single-unit residential further to the east. The applicant proposes to install a wall sign on the top floor of the building and requesting a variance to allow a wall sign to display a use that is not located on the first or second floor. The use will occupy the 6th, 7th, and 8th floors. GC 20-047 was approved in February of 21 for a similar request for Adverse Technologies on a separate elevation. The Northland Area Plan recommends signage to be placed in size such that they are in keeping with the scale and size of the building size and general streetscape and do not obscure or interfere with architectural lines and details. The proposal is consistent with these recommendations, therefore plan to support the application as submitted. The Division of Traffic Management has no comments. The Northland Community Council recommends approval with a vote of 16-0. And staff can recommend approval of the requested variance as the proposed sign is in keeping with the size and scale of the building's facade and existing signage.
You can state your name for the record, and if you've been sworn in, please confirm.
Yes, my name is Paul Lido with Sign Effects, and I have been sworn in.
Please present your case.
Yep, I think staff did a great job presenting it and summarizing everything. Basically, we have a mid-rise building here that faces 71. Our client, Hondros, is occupying the top 3 stories of this for a nursing college. And the other 2 signs are already existing. Those were granted via variance because they weren't occupying the top floor. Excuse me, the top floor. Feel it's pretty straightforward. We're trying to keep it in proper size and respect with the other signs so that we make it pleasantly appealing to the eye and yet still readable from 71.
I remember those other 2 applications. Is there anyone else? Are you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really much to add to this one, to be honest.
Questions?
I'm sorry, dude, I'm one. Is there any thought given to that? I mean, you said it's readable. Maybe I have bad eyesight, but it's hard for me to read College of Nursing. Did you ever have any thoughts about like getting rid of that?
I don't think we gave you the nighttime view. The nighttime view, it shows up much better. But yeah, you're right. Daytime view, the letters are a little small, but we contemplating making the whole thing larger. Yeah. Yeah, we contemplate making the whole thing larger, but it kind of overpowered the building. Especially with the other 2
issue when
signs.
it comes to site, driving.
Yeah, it actually is taller than the technologies. Thank you for pointing that out, Mr. Cooper.
No, thanks for that. I just curious.
Yep, it's the blue. Blue is also always a hard color to get good visibility from far away because it tends to blur in your eye.
Gotcha.
Would you like to testify? Anyone else? I assume you would, yeah.
I'll only say, I'm here if you have any questions. I think staff actually covered our position. We are in support. We met with Mr. Lyda on the 26th of June, and we had no issues with this.
Will you tell Tony, please state your name for the record?
I will. Dave Paul with the Northland Community Council, and I was sworn. Thank you.
Thanks. Great. Any questions? All right. Can I have a motion to approve the finding of fact?
Make a motion to accept the finding of facts as stated by the applicant staff.
Okay.
Mr. Catlers,
Yes.
Mr. Boyd,
Yes.
Ms. Augustine,
Yes.
Mr. Rumble,
Yes.
Chair Newman,
Yes, and can I have a motion to approve the application?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Boyd,
Yes.
Ms. Augustine,
Yes.
Mr. Rumble,
Yes.
Mr. Catlers.
Yes.
Chair Newman.
Yes, the application is approved.
Great, thank you very much.
Thanks. On to our next case. GC 24016 700 North High Street. Please come forward. Who's taking this guy?
I'm sitting with Nate.
Okay.
Okay. 700 North High Street is located on the southeast corner of North High Street and East Lincoln Street. Site is on C4 commercial and is located in the Italian Village. The 0.19 acre site is currently developed with an eating and drinking establishment. Surrounding uses include similar eating and drinking establishments in the north, south, and west, and a mix of single unit and multi-unit developments in the east. The applicant was to install a canopy sign, and the applicant is requesting increase the encroachment of awning or canopy into the right of way from 30 inches to 39 inches. Planning Commission has no comments as the property falls within the jurisdiction of the Italian Village Commission. The Italian Village Commission has recommended approval of the special permit, voting unanimously. The Division of Traffic Management notes that the existing awning will require an encroachment easement to be granted by City Council. City staff is recommending approval. Staff can recommend approval of the proposed canopy sign matches the size and character of surrounding shop signs fronting North High Street. We are seeking for one condition, that the applicant shall apply for and receive the required encroachment easement for the existing awning. Mr. Chairman.
That's what the city of Columbus grants the awning.
I believe they would have to, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Could you please state your name for the record and confirm you've been sworn in for the court reporter, please?
I was a little bit late, so I haven't been sworn yet.
Ah!
Raise your right hand. Swear or affirm that all of the testimony you will provide in this matter is true to the best of your belief and your knowledge, and so say I do.
I do.
You always say you that.
My name is Michael Klingel. I'm with,
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
I am so
Can
sorry.
you spell it for
Yes, absolutely. Michael Klingel, that's KLINGL. I'm with the firm of JSD Professional Services, Inc., and I'm representing Sweetgreen, who is the tenant or will be the tenant of this space. So I'm here actually for the approval of, to be able to put Sweetgreen's sign on the canopy. This kind of blew into a little bit more than what we intended it to be.
Always does.
It always does. So we had thought that the canopy was all fully entitled. So we were just looking to put the sign on the existing canopy. The canopy is already there. It had not been installed yet, so we didn't have all the information when we applied for the sign to be placed on this sign. So we were not quite sure how far it did extend. We knew that there was 30 inches allowed without asking for anything special. And in that, we had anticipated that this was completely entitled as necessary. We didn't really think anything of it. When we went to the when we went to the IVC, it was nothing additional that was flagged. However, to give them the benefit of the doubt, since we didn't have any idea that it was extending beyond the 30 inches allowed by code, how do they have any notion that it was also extending beyond that? So we've actually been through the IVC twice with unanimous approval 2 times. So this is, as the planner had indicated, Jamie, for Dane Kirk, who is representing this particular petition for your office, is again, just to place the signage. Our signage
You're okay
on
with the
this.
condition? You're okay with?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We understand, we fully understand the ramifications of this at this particular junction. And again, we've gone through many of the staff departments that have already are being asked currently, because the landlord, as soon as he found out that it wasn't completely entitled, is provided the letter starting the process and is going through the necessary entitlements now to get this right away put in place. And it is now in to staff, all the staff departments, to get their input. And again, we've already had to go through 4 or 5 of those departments just to get their intake on having the sign placed there. We've answered all of their questions with regard to the sign being there, and he is now going through those departments for the purpose of the canopy being there and encroaching 6 inches. Our letters extend 3 more inches, being sitting on top and at the edge of the canopy. So again, we're asking again for those signs to be there, understanding that this is a bigger issue at this point. So we ask that you guys approve the canopy sign being placed, encroaching 9 more inches than what's allowed by code, as the landlord continues his petition to get the right-of-way put into place, and we will wait with that caveat to this approval if you are so deemed to give it to us this evening until that happens, so that we can put our sign on it.
Does anyone have any questions?
I have one.
Absolutely.
There is, I see a projecting sign also shown on, but that just fits code, doesn't it?
Yes. We have a blade sign on East Lincoln, and we also have a marquee sign on the corner. And those have all been permitted already. So those are all fine. And that's why it's, we like to have all the signage that we were intending on having, but we will be, if this ends up going the entire 6 months that it will, to get the right of way or the easement recorded and everything through city council. We will be signed when we do open. So
Is this Sweet Green's first location in Columbus?
in Columbus, yes. Oh, not the first. Actually, this will be the first location in Ohio.
Oh. Great. Anyone have any other questions? Is there anyone out there who'd like to testify to this matter? Okay. Someone like to file a motion?
Make a motion. A motion to approve the finding of facts as stated by the applicant staff.
I second.
Okay, we can vote.
Ms. Augustine?
Yes.
Mr. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Mr. Cavaliers?
Yes.
Mr. Hoy?
Yes.
Chair Goodman?
Yes, can I have another motion?
Motion to approve.
I second.
Wonderful.
Mr. Brumbaugh?
Let's vote.
Yes.
Mr. Cavaliers?
Yes.
Mr. Hoy?
Yes.
Ms. Augustine?
Yes.
Chair Goodman?
Yes, and your application is approved.
We
As
appreciate
predicted.
your time this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Last case is GC 24025-546 Jack Gibbs Boulevard. Please, Nicole. Mr. Freeze.
Yes. Okay, 546 Jack Gibbs Boulevard is located at the northeast corner of Jack Gibbs Boulevard and Cleveland Avenue. Frankly, it's on a city hall commercial, and there is no neighborhood representing this area. The plus minus 80-acre site is developed with 4 days Metropolitan Education Center High School. Surrounding uses include I-670 to the north and south, I-71 to the east, and Abbott Foods campus to the west. The applicant is requesting a graphics plan, the placement of pole banners on 39 lampposts, an attempt to provide identification for the buildings and directional information from campus. What will include 10 large banners in the parking lots, will be A, 48 by 72 inches, 7 medium banners at the entrance for Jack Gibbs, or B, 36 inches by 48 inches. And then 22 small directional and building identifying banners throughout the campus, which are 24 by 36 and the C. Here's the site plan showing all the different banners. Division of Traffic Management has no comments, and again, the site's not within any peer group, so there's no recommendation. City staff is recommending approval as banners will be located internally and are necessary for the identification and navigation. They're not asking for any conditions.
Wonderful. Can you please state your name for the record?
Lee Cole, and I've been sworn in.
Can you spell your last name? I didn't.
COLE.
Oh, that's pretty easy.
Real brain goes.
Great. Can you hear it? Please just say your name. Easier than the last one.
My name is Lee Cole, and we're presenting this graphics plan for the Fort Hays Metropolitan Campus. As it was stated by Mr. Freeze, and I thank you so much for all of your help on this project. This is the initial phase in what we're calling a Legacy Lights campaign. We want to be able to show the community what we're doing when you come to visit our campus. And we also would like to use this as an opportunity to direct residents to the different buildings. Fort Hays is on 77 acres, nearly 80 acres of property. And currently we don't have any identifying markers to which building is which. So we'd like to take this as an opportunity to not only showcase the academics and the prowess of the campus, but also identify where our buildings are.
How many students do you have?
At that particular location, I believe close to 400.
So-
Because it's a complete campus. It's a former military campus,
It is.
erected in 1976, I believe, when it was donated.
I've not
to us.
heard of this boulevard.
Yes, we have our central enrollment building, we have Arts Impact Middle School, we have our construction arts career tech programs there, and then the Fort Hays Arts and Academic High School. So it's a metro education campus.
Wonderful. Anyone have any questions? Anyone else out there would like to testify? Doesn't look like it. Can I have a motion to approve the finding of fact?
It's a graphics plan.
No, we're still doing that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the finding of facts of this.
Second.
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Cavalaris?
Yes.
Mr. Hoy?
Yes.
Ms. Augustine?
Yes.
Mr. Rumbaugh?
Yes.
Mr. Goodman?
Yes, let's wait for the second until the original motion is made. Can we have a motion now to approve the application based on the finding of the fact?
So
I'll make a motion to approve application GC 24-825.
Driving Tony crazy.
Second. Okay.
Got a second over here. Okay, we can vote.
Okay.
Mr. Hoy?
Yes.
Ms. Augustine?
Yes.
Mr. Rumbaugh?
Yes.
Mr. Cavalaris?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes, your application's approved.
Thank you.
That would be nice.
Okay.
That's a nice touch. I can't believe how big that was. 80 acres. We have any? We got
So you're like.
meeting adjourned.
Oh. Yeah.